Whoa, what the hell's going on, YouTube? I bet you didn't expect to catch this in your sub box this morning when you got up. But anyway, I'm still alive. It's been a pretty brutal summer for heat-wise, I'm sure everybody knows. But that's what Glock 17 shooter was giving me shit about being a cager. But let's see, you walk outside, 95 degrees, 85% humidity, truck with air conditioning, motorcycle with no air conditioning, truck with air conditioning, motorcycle with no air conditioning. I'm paying for the truck, paying for the motorcycle, I'm going to take the truck. I just really do not enjoy sweating my ass off being on the bike. It just kind of takes all the fun out of it for me. But anyway, it seems like temps are cooling off a little bit more. We've been running about mid to high 80s and having some pretty decent weather the last few days, so I figured I'd get out and take a quick ride this evening and make a little vlog while I was there. I had a pretty interesting day. Well, I've had a pretty interesting few months. I mean, since the Ozarks came back, shit, after the Ozarks I really didn't ride any for, hell, a few weeks. And then I think it was in June, me and Glock 17 got together up in Hattiesburg for lunch, chilled out for a little while. And then in August, just a couple weeks ago, I made a trip up to Virginia to go see my son and some friends. And while I was there, I got to meet up with Toast to Go, duh. And we had lunch. We got to sit back and shoot the shit, and it was pretty nice. Neither one of us had a motorcycle, neither one of us had a camera, just sitting there talking about anything and everything over some Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. Well, I think Toast had a Reuben, so. But it was a good time. Good to see him again since he didn't get to make it to the Ozarks this year. And then just last week, I rode up to Laurel, Mississippi and met up with Moto Duelist and his girlfriend Zombie Kitten 250. I'll put links to their channels down below. If you haven't checked them out, please do. Great people, great people. They were on a trip from Atlanta over to Natchez, where they was going to spend the night, and they rode the Natchez Trace all the way from there, all the way up to Nashville, I believe, where it ends. Which, that's a pretty ride, especially if you got plenty of time on your hands, because the speed limit's only 50 miles an hour, and you pull a ticket on that road, that's a federal ticket, that's not a state ticket. So it usually costs a little more. But it is a good ride, just to sit back and chill and relax. So, I think they had a pretty good trip. But like I said, we got, I think it was last Tuesday? Not this past Tuesday, Tuesday week before. And they were running a little bit late, and the plans kind of got screwed up a little bit. And so he texted me about lunch or so, maybe a little bit about 10 o'clock, 10:30 that morning. But hey, we're running late, probably we're about 4 hours out, blah, blah. So from here to Laurel for me is about 100 miles. So I hopped on the bike, and it was pretty decent weather. It was a little warm here, but as I started heading north, I stopped right outside of Hattiesburg to get gas on the bike. And I checked my phone, and there was a lot of storms running across right through the middle of Hattiesburg. And I was like, damn it, I was going to get wet. So instead of taking the bypass around Hattiesburg, I wound up shooting up 49 all the way to the interstate. And I guess I was just right behind, or was in the middle gap of the rain, because the roads were wet, but it never any fell. So I hopped on 59 and made the last 25, 30 miles up to Laurel. Got up there and it was fine. And we met up and we ate and everything while we were sitting there eating. There was a couple of pretty good downpours that came through. And by the time they got ready to get back on the road, it was just misting just a little bit, but it seemed like most of the heavier rain was all moving east of us, and we were both heading west and south. So kind of got lucky there, heading back, wasn't really any rain. And made it all the way within 5 minutes of my house, and the damn bottom fell out. I felt like a drenched rat for the last 5 miles of the trip, the 200-mile round trip. But anyway, it's definitely good to see them. Like I said, if you haven't watched especially Moto Duelist. Him and Silent Blade Atlanta, or ATL, took a trip last December from Atlanta up to Minnesota, I believe it was. I don't know, one of them cold ass states in December. And he documented the trip pretty well. He's got a three video series. If you haven't watched them yet, go do it. I mean, there was some of those times watching them that I was hurting, seeing them riding that cold. Some of the stuff they had to go through making that trip up and back. Oh, but what else? Started fall semester. That started Monday. If everything goes right, this might be my last semester of school. It all depends on how the classes line up for next semester, whether I want to go for 2 degrees or 1. So we'll see about that in a couple of months when the new schedule comes out. But if not, come around first of the year, I should be job hunting, which should be interesting since I've been out of the job market for a couple of 3 years, damn near 3.5 years by that time. Somewhere in there. I lose track. But anyway, it's funny. The fall semester is always really funny because that's when pretty much all the new people start rolling in. You know, you get all the high school kids starting their first year of college and stuff. And honestly, in the tech field, IT and stuff like that, there's a lot of older people, you know, looking for a second career and stuff like that, kind of like me. You know, people going back to school. And a couple days ago, I met a guy. He was a friend of a guy I've been going to school with for the last year or so. You know, just talking this, that, and the other about different classes and what he's taking and all this stuff. But anyway, it's not like I knew the guy personally, but I knew of him. And I usually get to school. My classes start at 8 every day, so I'm usually there about 7:30, just kind of chilling out, getting ready for the day. And it was me, him, and another guy. And we were kind of just sitting out there talking, this, that, and the other, this morning. And the guy that I'm talking about, he's an older guy. I'm saying, if I'm 41, he's older. He's probably in his 60s. But he had his notebook laying there, and it had something. I caught the corner of my eye across the front of it. It said something about religion and walking with God or something like that. And I just kind of craned my head around and looked at it to read it. And I kind of shook my head. And he looked up at me. He goes, "Yeah, what can I say? I'm a preacher." And I was like, "Hey, yeah, I'm an atheist." The dude grabbed his shit and walked away from me like I had the motherfucking plague. I was like, wow, really? I mean, did I offend somebody that much just because I don't believe in your God? I was like, that has to be literally the first I've ever had that happen to me since I became an atheist, which was probably about 3 years ago. And I just found it, and it's not like I said I'm an atheist with a condescending tone or, you know, anything ill-meaning like that. Actually, I kind of said it with a chuckle in my voice, you know, but I was not mean-spirited. I was in no way trying to offend the guy, but it just really blew my mind that he just grabbed his shit and walked away. And I was like, okay. But I see the guy probably 3 days a week, so I'm going to keep a tally on this and see how things go. And like I said, I don't go poking and prodding at Christians or Muslims or anybody with any belief. You know, that's especially in America, that's your choice. I was like, I lived that life for 39 years of my life. You know, I was born and raised Southern Baptist, the fire, brimstone, the holy thing. And it really wasn't until I took a religion course in college that really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And that's when I made the change in my life. and started doing a lot of research myself and thought about, wow, there's a lot of good points in there. But anyway, that was my day-to-day at school, you know, other than learning. And I hope y'all have a good one, and hope to see you around a little bit more. All right, take it easy.